I think she's already checked this. You both also read there in the back. The back like last time she
check. Rare, na? Chair ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಸರ್.
Requesting everyone who's sitting at the back to occupy the front seats, please. Requesting everyone again to occupy the front seats, please, and leave the seats at the back vacant. Would be convenient for people coming in to occupy those seats. Please move to the front seats, everyone. Your education is your passport to a better future. Good afternoon, everyone. A warm welcome to everyone who's present here to the orientation of MA Orientation Program 2023 of the Department of Liberal Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, Mahe, Bangalore. I, Divya Kalavala, take a great pleasure in welcoming you all to the MA Orientation Program of this year, to the dignitaries present here, the parents and the students of the batch 2023. We will now have a short video presentation introducing the universities. I request the IT team to play the university video, followed by the university anthem. I request everyone to be seated while the anthem is being played.
All of 23, newly married, a fresh medical graduate, and looking forward to a new life, young Madhavapai had just sold some of his wife's jewelry to buy surgical instruments from Germany. He was all geared up to leave India and practice surgery in Hong Kong. He had debts to repay his uncles, who financed his medical education, and a large family, including his aged mother, to support. But that was not to be. Destiny had other plans for young Madhava. When he approached his mother for her blessings, she reminded him of his duty to his motherland and his fellow people. You must search things where they have fallen. You must earn in your own land. With these words as his war cry, Tomse Madhava Anand Pai set out to achieve what many would call impossible. The seed of Manipal was thus sown.
A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Walking together, we've come this far. It all began in the gleam of a great man's eye. In the light of his innermost soul, he believed that this was his ultimate goal. It's my blind light. It's my blind light. Oh, the sky is not the limit, 'cause there are footprints on the moon. It's my blind light.
His infectious zeal propelled him to serve his own people, and he set a goal of transforming, empowering, and nurturing lives through education, healthcare, and banking, the most basic aspects of social upliftment. High schools in every village, small-scale industries like dyeing and weaving, sawmills that provided employment, institutes of higher education, rural banking, there was no area that he left untouched. Along with his brother, he started Syndicate Bank with the motto, "No man is too small for our bank."
Syndicate Bank has got a new philosophy. It is one man that continuously contributes to the greatness of an institution. That of an institution that is not saving to the people, who are in very attention.
He even started a Hindu orphanage during the days of our freedom struggle, as many children were being orphaned due to the dismal life expectancy of just 27 years. He brought sheer joy to the lives of the underprivileged. His relentless efforts transformed the barren land of Manipal to the exciting Manipal University Township. Dr. Dlhs was passionately driven. He even said all that he was doing was not work, but fulfilling the vision of the Almighty to serve the needy. His sense of social responsibility was complete. He had a belief that the common man had a lot of common sense, and if channeled into productive work, he can be made beneficial to man and society. His idea of vocational training leading to employment was a far-fetched idea. But Dr. Pai was thinking out of the box, ahead of his times. Just like the idea of starting India's first private, self-financing medical college at a time when the country badly needed professionally qualified doctors. Kasturba Medical College, established in 1953, provided equal opportunities for all to study medicine. The Manipal Institute of Technology took birth in 1957, followed by a string of other institutions.
I have been traveling with him in the summer of so many high schools and colleges. And it was a great experience for me. He was a practicality. He didn't want everything to be done by the government. And he used to go forward, taking around with him his followers and friends.
Featured in Ripley's Believe It or Not for establishing the maximum number of institutions in one lifetime, Dlhs Pai was a man of values, uncompromising in his integrity and honesty of word, deed, and purpose. One of the biggest reasons for his success was his availability to all. His simplicity, friendliness, and sympathy for those in distress. He has set the path of social responsibility on which we are continuing our journey.
To me, it's the most beautiful thing we have done. We never thought that there was a failure. The word failure did not occur in his scripture. Here is a man that God had perfected. And I always keep saying, the moment he told his mother, Zaidko Amma, it meant okay mother, money God.
Today, as we carry forward the mantle of his vision and values, we remind ourselves that life itself was his continued inspiration.
Inspired by vision, driven by his vision, that the sky is no limit, across the footprint of the moon. Learning from life and giving back to it. We serve millions and touch the lives of many. We transform, empower, nurture, and care. As we
We have with us our chief guest for the day, Ms. Vasanthi Hariprakash, founder and CEO of Pickle Jar Media. She is a well-known journalist and a media enterpriser, and the Deputy Registrar of Mahe, Bangalore, Professor Raghavendra Prabhu, Head of the Department of Liberal Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, Dr. Shilpa Kalyan. I request Dr. Shilpa Kalyan to escort the dignitaries onto the dais. Before we begin, I request Dr. Anushri, faculty at Dlhs, Mahe, Bangalore, to render the invocation song.
ಹೂವಲ್ಲಿಚೆನು ಕುಡಿ ಕಟ್ಟದೇನು ನೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೀನು ಅಡಿ ಮುಟ್ಟದೇನು ಆ ದೈವದಾಜ್ಞೇನೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು. ಹೇ ಶಾರದೆ ದಯ ಪಾಲಿಸು, ಈ ಬಾಳನು ಬೆಳಕಾಗಿಸು. ಹೇ ಶಾರದೆ ದಯ ಪಾಲಿಸು, ಈ ಬಾಳನು ಬೆಳಕಾಗಿಸು. ನಾಳೆಗಳ ದಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬಿಕೆಯ ನೆಲೆ ಸಾಗಿಸು. ನೆಸು ಕೈ ಹಿಡಿದು ನಾವಾಡೋ ಪದಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಚರಿಸು. ಹೂವಲ್ಲಿ ಜೇನು ಗುಡಿ ಕಟ್ಟದೇನು, ನೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೀನು ಮಡಿ ಮುಟ್ಟದೇನು, ಆ ದೈವದಾಜ್ಞೇನೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು. ಹೇ ಶಾರದೆ ದಯ ಪಾಲಿಸು, ಈ ಬಾಳನು ಬೆಳಕಾಗಿಸು. ಹೇ ಶಾರದೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Education is a passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. These inspiring words by Malcolm X ring in true for the students who are present here, who are ready to take on a new role in a new place. Over the course of your stay here, I hope you will discover that you have entered a challenging, diverse, unique, and prestigious institution. At this stage, you are at a crucial juncture where you have crossed a milestone to embark on a new journey. I invite Dr. Shilpa Kalyan, Head of the Department, Dlhs, to formally welcome the gathering.
Thank you, Divya. Ellarigu namaskara. Good afternoon, everyone. Respected dignitaries on the dais, dear colleagues, parents, and students. On behalf of Team Dlhs, it's my honor to welcome you all to Mahe, Bengaluru campus. Today we have amidst us a dynamic personality, Ms. Vasanthi Hariprakash, journalist, columnist, podcaster, communication expert, political analyst, founder and CEO of Pickle Jar Media. A very warm welcome to you, Ms. Vasanthi. I also welcome Professor Raghavendra Prabhu, Deputy Registrar, Mahe Bengaluru, to this inaugural event. May I request Dr. Girish, PG Program Coordinator, to welcome Ms. Vasanthi and Professor Raghavendra Prabhu with a sapling. Thank you, Dr. Girish. Dear students, I know you have all worked very hard to reach here after many challenges in your life during your undergraduation level, and you're here, you're among the fortunates who have enrolled into postgraduate programs. And it's an honor to welcome all of you. I'm really exhilarated to invite you all to enroll in, to kind of start your journey at Dlhs Mahe and succeed in your quest for wisdom. Post-graduation is a different experience than an undergraduate learning environment. The coursework is more rigorous, expectations are higher, and the workload is heavier. But it is also an incredibly rewarding experience. You will have opportunities to learn from some of the best and brightest minds from across different domain expertise. You will have opportunities to work on projects, conduct research, which can make a real difference to the world around you. At Dlhs, we believe that education extends far beyond the confines of classroom and textbooks. It is about nurturing holistic development that encompasses academic excellence, critical thinking, empathy, creativity, and a sense of community. Each of you bring unique experiences, talents, and perspectives, and we encourage you to share all these with your fellow students and colleagues and faculty members. Diversity is a core value at our university. At DLHS, we have students and faculty from across the country. We have students representing almost 23 states across the country in the entire department. Embrace this richness of this diverse community, as it provides platform to learn about different cultures, traditions, and ways of thinking. It fosters an environment of tolerance, understanding, and respect, qualities that are essential for a global citizen. I remember having a conversation with Ms. Vasanti some time back when I told her that we have this kind of diverse community, student community at the department. She was very fascinated. She said, "Oh wow, just imagine the learning that the students would have at the end of the program. Just imagine after 2 years, you would have met students from across the country with so many experiences. And what better way to learn than sharing, than pure learning?" Going further, as you tread on this path of education, challenges may arise and obstacles may seem insurmountable. But remember, it is in overcoming these challenges that you grow and become stronger. Do not hesitate to seek guidance, my dear friends, and support also when needed. We are here to help you rise above any difficulties that you may encounter. Let us remember that your success is not measured by grades or accolades alone, but by the positive impact you make in the lives of others and the world around you. Our hope is that you will not only excel academically, but also become compassionate leaders and responsible global citizens. Once again, a very warm welcome to DLHS Mahe family. May this orientation day mark the beginning of an incredible journey of learning, self-discovery, and personal growth. Together, we shall build a brighter future for all of us. I would like to end this welcome address with lines from Robert Frost. "The woods are lonely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep." Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. When you possess light within, you see it externally. Let us come together as we invoke the light within. I request the dignitaries on stage, along with the student representative, to light the lamp, symbolic of the illuminated path that lies ahead. Yes.
Among the boys, anyone wants to come and light the lamp? You join me.
Yes, we see someone right there. Please come forward. We just witnessed the lighting of the lamp along with offering a floral tribute to Dr. T.M.A. Pai. We now take a moment to remember the man behind the success of Mahe. Dr. T.M.A. Pai, Indian physician, educationist, banker, philanthropist, his memory and contribution to society is beyond measure. Our guest of honor for this event is Professor Raghavendra Prabhu, Deputy Registrar, Mahe, Bangalore. He has also served as professor in the Department of Mechatronics. He's the warm and friendly face behind all the smooth workings on our campus. I invite Professor Prabhu to address the audience.
So thank you. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, dignitaries on and off the dais, faculty, staff, students, their parents. It is my pleasure to be a part of this orientation program of basically a PG program offered by Dlhs Mahe Bangalore campus. So dear students, I am reminded of the words of our founder, Dr. T.M.A. Pai. A problem is something to be solved. An obstacle is something to be overcome. Your journey for the next 2 years at the Department of Liberal Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences will be a life-defining journey. All that I wish to tell you at the outset is that with determination and learning, you can overcome any obstacle in your way. But to do this, it is important that you recognize what lays ahead of you and what could you do to make the most of it. I assure you that by choosing to be a Manipalite, you share a piece of history that is inspiring in itself, and by being here for the next 2 years, you are bound to find a transformation within you. With nearly 7 decades of excellence in professional education, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, a deemed to be university, is known for its world-class intellectual resources and physical infrastructure. Our vision is global leadership in human development, excellence in education and healthcare. We strongly believe that you must become a very good human to become a competent and well-deserving professional. So established in the year 2002, Mahe Bengaluru campus is constantly striving for all-round excellence. Over 4,500 students live, learn, and play in the evolving campus, which is spread over in 88 acres. It also has over 325 faculty members and almost 300 other support and service staff who cater to the needs of constituent units of Mahe Bengaluru campus. Here at Mahe Bengaluru campus, we offer programs in regenerative medicine, engineering, art, design and technology, management, commerce, public policy, arts, and law. So every constituent unit of Mahe Bengaluru campus has world-class facilities and pedagogy, which are constantly reviewed and upgraded to reflect the latest trends and developments in higher education. Backed by infrastructure that is comparable to some of the best in the world, with an excellent academic reputation, experienced faculty, excellent academic and research facilities, Mahe boasts of an educational environment with a touch of world class. The multidisciplinary campus facilitates interdisciplinary research projects with students from almost all the states of India and from many countries. Mahe Bengaluru campus presents a multicultural environment that facilitates exchange of ideas from diverse cultures. Mahe Bengaluru campus is all set to witness the top-class infrastructure on campus, and soon it is going to be one of the smart and green campuses. By deciding to join Mahe to build your professional career, you share Manipal's story of inspiration, a story that prides itself on building a sustainable, community with the most creative ideas. Be assured that you have made the right decision and will emerge as a person to inspire others around you in the years to come. On this day, by deciding to study with us, you have become a member of the Manipal family. Your journey for the next 2 years will be a life-defining journey. How do you handle for the next 2 years is critical. For us, all those photos of your celebrity alumni that are seen in our social media, admission booklets, publicity material, and display boards are not for marketing Manipal. It is to inspire each budding student to achieve success by emulating some of them. Let us close our eyes and fast forward our lives by 25 years. When I close my eyes, I find your names and photos in the list of alumni achievers. With this hopeful note, I wish each one of you all the best, and let us rededicate ourselves in the service of our nation building. I once again heartily welcome each one of you and wish you the best. You find the best time of your life while studying here at Mahe Bangalore campus. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our chief guest, Ms. Vasanthi Hariprakash, is an award-winning journalist. She is also a radio and television personality and a media entrepreneur. She founded Pickle Jar, which helps businesses and institutions build stories through podcasts, web series, and events. Ms. Hariprakash has had a distinguished career with NDTV as a special correspondent, All India Radio's Akashwani, and Radio City. And also, she was also involved with BBC World News 1 Square Mile as a documentary anchor. She's also the host of the popular podcast, The Dosa King, on Spotify. Most of you must have heard of it. And a columnist on the Deccan Herald. Known for connecting with her audiences and being able to fluently speak 5 languages, she has been conferred with the Radio Excellence Award for being India's English RJ of the Year in 2007. The Rotary Vocational Excellence Award in 2013, and the UNFPA-backed Ladli Award for Gender Sensitivity in Journalism for the year 2020 for her reporting on unheard voices of women from her travels across. We're pleased to have you with us, ma'am. I now invite you to kindly deliver the keynote address.
So, before I actually go ahead and get a mic that helps me travel to the other side of the stage, I'm going to use this stage time to know who I'm talking to, for which I will request the help of parents as well, because I know the center, the spotlight right now is on the Chhatra, the Vidyarthi, and the student community. But those who have entrusted this institution, that is, I'm eyewitness to what Manipal is. You have come here with as many hopes, as many questions, and you're taking in everything that's around you. So let's just begin by me knowing which part of India or outside you are coming from. उत्तर भारत से कोई है यहाँ पर जो आए हैं? लखनऊ से आए हैं सर, अवध. आप भी? दिल्ली, स्ट्रेट राजधानी, वी हैव अ रिप्रेजेंटेशन. और आप कहाँ से आए सर? नोएडा, या तो उत्तर प्रदेश हुआ. यस. एनीबडी एल्स इन द रूम? તમે ગુજરાતથી આવો છો? કहाँ? ક્યાં? I see. You see, Gujarat has given India, its current Prime Minister, but I have some wonderful memories of spending in Gujarat when my father was posted there. Gandhinagar, Jamnagar, and all those places. And you know, one thing which I totally love about Gujarat, being a South Indian who went there, anybody can guess what was the most special thing? I'm talking about the 90s. And for, you know, today's environment, it's particularly important, this plus point of Gujarat, which is that I arrived first time in Gujarat to surprise my parents. I was a college student back here. Somewhere close to 12:30 night. I'm talking about midnight. Or I can see she's saying yes. There is absolutely no worry. And friends in Gujarat even now confirm that ये सच है sir. क्योंकि जब हम, you know, we talk about women's safety and so many other aspects. That is one state you could really go around in midnight and people were happily enjoying Vadilal ice cream, I remember. So that was clearly a state where I traveled even without knowing much Gujarati back then. So Gujarat is represented, I can see. How about Telangana, Andhra Pradesh? Anybody from Kerala? Goa, did you say? Excellent. What a lovely state to belong to. Yeah? Susagad, as they say, which is a way of life, the way you, the whole attitude to taking life chill, sort of laid back, and such a beautifully put together state. And then who we have left? Tamil Nadu. So, எங்க இருந்து வரீங்க? Chennai. You've been in Gujarat, ma'am? Where in Gujarat? Oh. There you go. Fantastic. Ma'am, may I know your name? Purna. So, Mrs. Purna has this to share as how a Chennai Kari, she went to Gujarat and of course experienced this firsthand. So we have Gujarat, then Karnataka bere yaar bandidare. Mumbai, yes. I was thinking that the financial heartthrob of the country should have some representation. Who we have left out? Anybody from Bengal? There you go. Where from in Bengal? Kolkata? Sir? Durgapur? I couldn't hear you. Shillong. Beautiful. The music culture of Shillong is something else. Yes, sir. Good. Do you know each other? You don't. There. Great. See, connections are happening right on day one. So we have people from the northeast. We have, so many other states that we have just now heard. Mrs. Purna was talking about her moving to a place and kind of adapting to the culture, the language of that state. Have we left out anybody? I don't want anybody to say that, you know what, Vasanti, what about my state? So, यहाँ पर जो है हम हर राज्य, हर भाषा, हर संस्कृति, we get to see all that. And I think, so that sort of speaks about the room that we are in today. I just want all of us to now take a moment of introspection, to think what would have happened if we never made it here, if we never made it to college. And that's not unusual. Thinking of a country like India, where there are like a dozen challenges. There is maternal mortality, there is infant mortality, there are health issues, there are girl-child challenges, there is access to education, there is bigger problem, there are places where there is a law and order issue, there are places where there is so much of poverty that college to dur, you can't even make it to school. There are enough studies, and these are across states. And to think that we have made it here. I think that calls for not just celebration, but some amount of gratitude. And I say this as a person who has made it a livelihood, if not a habit, of undertaking solo journeys across India across states which are going into elections. Why do I do that? Because during elections, I really get to see my country up close and personal, unfiltered. And as a storyteller, as a journalist, as someone who is just another working woman of this country, I get to see such a diverse strata. I get to see people who have a wealth to buy up a college, if not set it up. And I see people who have no chance to make it, like I said. So today when Manipal invited me to share some things with you, I come here with a lot of humility. Because frankly, who am I to actually stand on a stage and tell people, particularly parents who've had such a rich journey themselves, such rich life experiences, होते कौन है यार, हमारी औकात क्या है? पर ये जरूर मैं कहूँगी, I will say, and here we have people from Uttar Pradesh and Bengal, both states which I went for 2021 and 2022, elections in the midst of a raging pandemic, and people just thought I was nuts. My uncles, and they were like seeing WhatsApp videos of things and law and order stuff. There are this, people being beaten up. Why are you going to a tip of West Bengal? And I was traveling from the Sundarban to Calcutta to Murshidabad to and then of course Kuch Bihar and Siliguri West, this thing, and in UP of course I went into Bundelkhand. The reason why I'm doing is that I don't think मैं अपने जान पे खेल के जा रही हूँ. Thank you. I'm not really interested in really doing something daring. I just feel that as part of our routine, the onus is on us, citizens, to make a place safe, to therefore travel, to explore, to tell people, to make bonds, to understand cultures, and to tell that story to the larger world. There are a couple of TEDx talks I gave, flaunt alert, because I genuinely feel that as students now of multimedia, that very topic, the specialization that you all are set to get for yourselves is like giving yourselves 8 arms. Even without it, people make brilliant media videos. You open TikTok, people who've never learnt a word, don't they make stuff which goes viral? We all watch it, enjoy it, love it. Why do we need a degree for that? We need the degree. Of course, the degree has its uses, but also it equips you in multiple ways. And that is the privilege that you all are starting on. But here I am to tell you that alongside the degree which is there, if you are going to do things which add to your own dimension, then it will stand you in really good stead. And well, my own career can be a case study. So over the next few minutes, probably I'll share with you some of the things which I got to see. And if that helps you in any way across your journey, I would just be happy. But if it isn't, then it means that you're garnering your own experiences. Nimma anubhavagalu, whatever you're going to be, it's, all of us eventually are rolling stones. And I don't agree that we don't gather moss. If not anything, we gather a very interesting CV. And the thing is that when you look beyond the degree and you learn beyond the classroom, then you're also aiding that institution and your teachers, because there's only so much that a framework can teach you. But a framework is a whole pillar, a structure that's just going to stand by you. I mean, of course, in a big world out there, it also gives you competitive advantage. But when I started with a degree in electronics. I did something which was called the BSc Electronics Honours those days, and I had no investment in why I am doing that degree. Like most of my generation, I think I can say about, is like, there wasn't so much of thought. Oh, it just sounds so cool. Oh, wow, electronics. Oh, must be a good thing. And I was reasonably good in mathematics. And look at me making the connection. Oh, I'm good in this. Maybe I'll be okay with that. But somewhere along the line, I learned that, hey, this is not my scene. I'm so not cut out for circuit diagrams and this. And how can I quickly escape this? And that is when, thankfully, I discovered journalism. Journalism back in the day, or even in many colleges now, is called that. Or probably you might just call it mass communication and journalism. But I really love what's now the expansive name for that. You say humanities, liberal arts. Because, trust me, that's what the world looks like. It's never really in just that one square. Life is so much more than just those alphabets. And it is these collective experiences. In fact, I did my PG, the post-graduation in literature, which I did my MA, much after I was married. I had a job with the Indian Express. And I was almost about to become a mother, when I was a student in a Bangalore college. And because I knew what it meant, that I would never have this degree otherwise. That I would be just, caught in the late city editions and night shifts and everything of being this working journalist. That the deep desire to be a PG, a postgraduate. Therefore, you worked extra hard. So I still remember some of my teachers used to be like, oh my goodness, you actually did that and then you submitted the project earlier than the other routine student. And those students would give me the looks. So I'm like, listen, if I was a student like you, I would have also taken it a little easy. But at every stage, when you recognize that you are doing something that you may not have at all, then that sort of focus, you become an unstoppable force. Just nothing comes between. And it is that energy that I would like to commission and unleash onto each of you. The second part is not about oneself, but what about the thing that India needs at this point. Whether it was in Tamil Nadu or Karnataka, Kerala, wherever my journeys were taking me, I just saw things that we so take for granted being a luxury out of reach. Whether it was in Madurai, it was a place called Virupuram, I remember, or even in Raichur. How many of you have been to Raichur in North Karnataka? You've heard of Raichur? You've been there. I really think one of the things that you can do as a help to yourself is just travel when you get the time, and not travel to lovely places like Goa. That is, of course, with the family you can have this thing, but please travel to untraveled places. Please travel to places where it's tough to even get a bus. That is when education happens, not the resort booked, cab at your fingertips, my mineral water is in place, everything can be Dunzo'd, Swiggy, Zomato'd. That's not education. So in places like Raichur, where I had moved beyond the television channels that were mentioned here, and here I was just as an independent person, and I could see in Raichur, where in a place about 550 kilometers from this Mahanagari, from this beautiful IT capital of India, sometimes even lesser if you just go to places like Chikballapur, where I went for a child bride story of child marriages. You get a taste of what life really is for most of the people in this country, and then it drives a thing into you saying, what can I therefore do in my capacity? And then when you ask that what can I do question, then the answers begin to emerge, because there is just so much you can do. And never, of course, think that, listen, I'm just on my own. Because the power of one, all of us know. This country is testimony to all the great leaders who really started off just on their own. But to get back to what I saw was long, colorful pots that went almost for a thing of 35 kilometers. almost every 500 meters, people were just lining up to get drinking water. I remember meeting one woman there because, I was just, I had this mobile phone with myself. I was telling people, is it okay to take your picture? Is it okay to talk to you? Matar Boda, can we do this? And I saw this very dignified woman standing in a queue, Shamina, and the anger and the kind of inner volcano in her face, I don't think I can get it off my mind if I just think about it. Because she asked me a question. She said, ये पानी जो है, ये अच्छा पानी, एक घर में जो हमें रोज चाहिए, ये पानी, मेरे परिवार के लिए पानी, ये पानी नल में आने का जो हक है, वो क्या सिर्फ आपको है? हमें नहीं. You didn't have answers for these. That because she stays in a non-urban, non-politically important constituency, non-rich family that she was born into, we assume that that's the way things will go. And frankly, it's very, very hard to change some of these things. But you, I will come back to, have no excuse as students of multimedia. Because for us to either be the people who are telling that story or be the people who are working towards a solution for people like that, according to me, is one of the choices. We can, of course, have a great time in college, and I'm sure I wish for you that you will, because college is also a lot of fun. College is bonding. It's making all those relationships. Who knows, you might even find your partners. Things happen, right? And one parent is already laughing. He said, Vasanti, is kehna zaruri hai kya? Well, you never know what's in store. But then, when you begin to have a sensibility that you are taking note of some of these things which are beyond the surface, which is not apparent, that is what college trains you for. That is what education is intended to train you for. That you're not really taking what's in your textbook, what's in the curriculum, but what is the subtext. And frankly, for me, the degree, what I was telling you about, the postgraduate degree, I had, by the way, a couple of memorable teachers, and till date I'm in touch with them. But they also know, every teacher knows, that the actual learning starts way beyond this. But the smart thing to do is that while you are here, how are you leveraging this time, this education, and the whole infrastructure that's coming with it? Because remember, I told you that we are privy to stories right around us. People who work as domestic helps in our own homes. What is it that we have extra that, let's say, my maid, her daughter doesn't have? She's an extremely bright person herself. And no matter how much people can pool in to help, it takes a lot for a first generation schooler, college goer to actually, to a person to actually come this far. So I really remember one of those things when we read and heard about Abdul Kalam saying, each one, teach one. And you just realize, whoa, kafi gehri baat hai. You see, that's what he's actually intending at. He's saying that each one of us can be a change maker. It doesn't need somebody with, so many heroes we read about in this day, this age. Social media is full of heartwarming stories. But I am trying to nudge ourselves into thinking that doesn't take, it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of commitment, but it's not so out of reach in our own way. I hope that is clear. So one of the things which I shared in a forum like BITS Pilani, I remember when I had just come in from this travels, and they said, would you just travel to Rajasthan and tell our students what you saw? And I was asking them, I said, okay, these are engineering students, and here I am, in the field of media. What do I tell them? And then I realized that I tell them what I saw. Now, it's for them to figure what they take from my story. You are the storyteller. What people absorb from you and go on to do next, the possibilities are great. So I remember making a presentation for that particular crowd of a whole pack of engineers, rather, engineering graduates, saying, what does India of today need that you can solve or help solve? Because when I go to West Bengal and I did a story on women BD workers, and remember I was telling you that I just was on my own. And it was an agenda-free journalism. I didn't want to literally pre-plan and think, okay, this is what I am just letting my story lead me. I just land up at a place and then they say, oh, Bashunti. And I feel like I'm a rasgulla sitting on a plate. The way Bengalis pronounce my name, I just love it. And they would say that I'd learnt about 2.5 sentences to say, Ami Bangalore theke aschi, and whatever I was murdering the language, they took it. And what eventually happened was that I got to stay in the houses of people, and that is something which I also try and do. One is, of course, use as much public transport, so Indian Railways is a great help. And then try as much as not to leave a plastic trail, so I usually carry my own water bottle. And of course, it's not to say that I'm carrying something this thing is just making sure that, in places where you have that, you're sorted. Of course, there are always people's homes where they are welcoming you with food and sweets, and in the so-called poorest of homes, the most warmest of hospitality, where you sit down and ask what's going on in your lives. And so when this was happening, to Bits Pilani, I said that the number of water issues that no matter which state or infrastructure in a place like Bengal, where the women BD workers, for almost 1,000 BDs a day, their earnings were 100 rupees a day. Let me correct that, 10 rupees a day. I made a story on this. It's out in the Indian Express at that time. I remember thinking that in this day, this age, how are they able to manage? How does life go on? So, when you are trying to identify what you have seen across your multiple travels, across speaking to different socio-economic, regional, language, culture, multi-faith groups, in Aligarh Muslim University, where I was called to speak to a group of girl students, I just said, okay, let's just switch off the mic camera. Just tell me what are your aspirations, and let's see if we can do anything, if I can share anything of help. And they said that, क्या हम TV anchor बन सकते हैं? क्या हम ये कर सकते हैं, ma'am? I said, of course you can. She said, नहीं, अब्बू नहीं मानते. My father is very afraid. And I said, I would rather be talking to your parents, because they have sent you to college because they have dreams for you. But they are afraid for you. I understand the parents' angst, but I wish I could tell them that please let your children do. Please let your children do what they believe is good and right. Believe in their dreams. You've raised them. Trust them. And then, of course, the world is there for many possibilities to happen, wonderful achievements to go on, and somewhere along the line people recognize you. There are awards that come along the way, not that they should distract you from the path. If anything, it will just make sure that to somebody that, okay, something is going on right. Some people are watching this. And therefore, I would like to end my talk with just a few points on the equipping yourself. Now, what you go on to do is, of course, you will go on to do, like Professor Raghavendra was saying, 20, 25 years later, with my graying hair, I shall look out for your photographs and pictures as to what you have gone on to do, because it's an exciting world out. One never knows or can predict. But at the same time, some of the things which sort of came in handy, I've just put them as points. One is, of course, the Mark Twain quote, which is amusing and which is so true, that you never let schooling interfere in the way of your education, which is far beyond. Now, one of the things that, when you take a plunge and you just pull out all stops, go on to be that personality that you probably have been holding back yourself from, for whatever reason, but the potential and that passage to that world, it helps to see that you're not on to just a job. which is quite okay. There are placement cells, there are probably institutions that guarantee that you're going to get X or 10X that salary. Probably what your father, or at least my father, was retiring with, might be what you start with. These are things that happen. But even if they don't, and by choice, some people these days say that, no, I don't exactly want that because I know what path I have set out to do. So to have that sort of a longer vision helps. I always, just the same designation, the capacity of social media to make it look like some fancy thing. Like I remember seeing this dream alchemist. Now, like one can simply call yourself a teacher, mentor, storyteller, whatever. But then all these are actual designations that have gone around in social media, which can be traps. Good for you if they are not, but please keep an eye out to make sure that what goals and what stuff that you have or your collective aspirations are aligned with what is being promised. Coming to an extremely important one which stood me good stead was about upskilling. These days we hear this word in the context of, let's say, government programs. There is Skill India, because frankly there is so much of a demand for jobs. We need to be a nation of job creators. And it's not just the government that has to do it, it's also us who have to make sure that we hopefully go on to create jobs. But before that, we become that employable ourselves and upskill. What therefore does it mean? That not just about journalism or literature, but make sure that you really expand your reading, your knowing, your interacting with people from multidisciplinary fields to absorb. And these days there are audiobooks. Frankly, since COVID, the number of audiobooks that I have read, I'm reading something called India Moving. Has anyone heard of this book? It's by Chinmay Tumbe. Because in our team, we're trying to build a podcast around wealth, people's notions towards wealth. And I was saying that why not look at India's communities, which have so much inherent native knowledge and wisdom within themselves. And how do we even know about that? So Chinmay Tumbe's book, audio book, which I'm listening to, e-reading that is, makes a whole history of people like Marwadis, Chettiars, Parsis, communities, the Bora community, things like I had no idea about, frankly, despite, I don't know, whatever, college and work and all that. So you're learning at every stage, you're upskilling, you're adding on to the things that you can do on your own without, without really depending on a curriculum. Because ultimately, one has to adapt. In pandemic, COVID taught us the number of people who opened a Zoom account, who began teaching, all the, hats off to the wonderful teachers who actually had to suddenly make that oyster a classroom. So this thing of adapting, when I was a deskie, as we call at Indian Express, to becoming an RJ, when I had to really learn to say everything in rapid speed within 40 seconds, and even the so-called social issues which I was fond of featuring, extraordinary, ordinary citizens, one had to learn to say it in a radio bhasha or bhashe. That adapting was so useful. Very tough, but useful. And likewise, when you move on to a documentary, you suddenly have to say that in a long format. So here in the classroom that you are in, you're going to pass on, you're going to soak in and immerse yourself in so many new skill sets and education. So basically, be ready to change, my friends. And that's when life rewards you with so many good opportunities. Of course, it needs a lot of initiative. I can tell you this much. One of the things which you see in the extreme left top was when I was sent to London, as was mentioned, thanks to the radio recognition. And there, it was an Asians show, and one had to really go and represent or be the voice of the city that you were coming back from, to tell the larger people of UK or the listeners of BBC at that point of time, saying, what is India all about? What is Bangalore all about? So one had to be a sort of an ambassador for which you have to know properly the data, the stats, the facts about the thing. So make sure that whatever you do is fact-checked, accurate, because you can lose your credibility like that. And as media students particularly, that is something, and that camera that I'm holding, I didn't know to operate. It's just a show off for the camera. That was my colleague. I was trying to learn from him, and then he said, please, can you leave something for us, and you just do your job. So, and as a film festival curator, when an opportunity came about 6 years back, we started doing something around cinema and conversation, because it's such a powerful medium. Some of you will go on to become filmmakers, I hope. You have Dr. Divya here, who was anchoring this. She herself is a PhD in film studies, as she was sharing with me when I met her first time. There are n number of film festivals that happen. Go on, make beautiful films about people whose voices we have not heard this far. So, and of course, the last one where the entrepreneur part, learned a lot, burnt my fingers a lot, and then from failures you really kind of figure out. There's just so much lessons out there. And then of course about the podcast space, I feel that that's an emerging scenario. Make sure that you invest in learning the right thing to do. The audio world is untapped as of now, and if you want to make a mark, you have all the opportunities now. So therefore, in your head, I would like you to be this, that even while you're starting off, you will get to probably work with great institutions, you will work with great people, teams, companies, colleges, MNCs, whatnot, but in your head, that constant interaction, as we call in Kannada, sambhrama, like you're enjoying what you're seeing. You're enjoying what you're working on. And you're saying, hey, can I do something on my own? Given that this is a gig economy, there's all the chance that you will probably be called upon to do that, or you'll make a choice. And therefore, I thought I'll also leave this message with you, that take that initiative. In many things, it's these days, people make fun of you, saying, what an entu pataki, look at her trying to go and take the first one. But it helps to go that one step forward and leave behind that sense of entitlement. Ask your questions, and this is something which is my life funda, which I have relied on, and I often share it on my own blogs and social media, which is that uncomplainingly, no matter what you're given, go where life takes and take what's given. And I'll add one more line. Make it count. Make something out of it. Just go do fantastic things. Wish you the best of luck. If at all there are questions, I'm open to answering them. If the time is up, we can always connect offline. That's my name on any social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Feel free to put your questions. Remember, we said beyond the classroom. So beyond this auditorium, whether it's parents or teachers or students, I welcome you to do that. Dhanyavada.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those inspiring words. I'm sure the students here must have been motivated to and encouraged with your energetic talk. I now invite Dr. Girish, Associate Professor, Dlhs, to deliver a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon. On behalf of Dlhs Mahe Bangalore, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of you for being a part of this orientation. Your presence and your participation have truly made this event a memorable one. I'd like to extend a special word of thanks to Dr. Raghavendra Prabhu, Deputy Registrar, for presiding over this orientation and for his tireless efforts in managing not only the administrative but also the academic responsibilities of the entire Mahe Bangalore campus. Thank you very much, sir. Our heartfelt thanks to the esteemed chief guest, Vasanthi Hariprakash, for delivering such a meaningful keynote address. I assure you, madam, our students, Jacks and Jills, will not only be the jacks of all trades, but also the master of few of them. That's very important. As a token of gratitude, I request Dr. Raghavendra Prabhu sir to hand over memento to Madam Vasanthi Hariprakash. Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am. I'd like to thank the Chief Architect of DLHS, Dr. Shilpa Kalyan, in guiding all of us in all of our endeavors at DLHS. Thank you, ma'am. I acknowledge the presence of Dr. Ishapa Bandi, our Chief Librarian, Mr. Kanut Rodriguez, Deputy Registrar Evaluation, Raghupati sir, Director of Miles, and all these three will be making their presentations in a short while from now. And we had Daisy madam from MLS also. I'd like to thank her in her absence. I express my sincere gratitude to the heads and the representatives of various departments of Mahe Bangalore, all the faculty members at DLHS, heads and volunteers of all the committees for taking up their responsibility. And I extend my gratitude to Dr. Divya Kalavala for being the master of the ceremony, Dr. Anushri for the most appropriate invocation, Gaurav sir and his admission team, maintenance, IT, logistics, hospitality team, Sumant, technician in the auditorium, Srivani and Maruti, admission administrative team, and all of the people who are instrumental in hosting this event. And most importantly, I thank all the parents for being here, and I congratulate the students of the first year MA MMC and MA English for making it to Mahe Bangalore. Thank you.
I now invite Dr. Shilpa Kalyan to orient us about the department.
Yes, good afternoon again. How many English students do we have here? PG English. Wonderful. Awesome. And how many multimedia students? Great. Wonderful. Have you all settled down in your places? All done? Settled. Okay. So the flow of events would be, I would quickly take you through the academic regulations, a few USPs of the department, and what is in store for you over the next 2 years at DLHS Mahe. And after the department orientation, you will have orientation by the librarian Dr. Ishapa Pandit, Chief Librarian. He is going to present the library facilities, because that is where we hope and we wish to see you most often. And we will also have a brief orientation session on the general facilities that we have at Mahe, followed by orientation by Miles Institute, which again, if Vasanti's talk inspired you to become entrepreneurs with the programs that you're presently pursuing, somewhere to couple these skills, the required skills with what you, specialize in, Miles Institute will help you understand and acquire a few skills related to leadership and entrepreneurship. So we kind of have a brief orientation from Miles, and we also have an orientation on the examination systems and processes. To begin with, once again, a warm welcome to all of you. It is amazing feeling to be fresher again after 3 years of undergraduation. Yeah? But how many of you are excited? Okay. How many of you are less excited than how excited you were in the undergraduation? Yeah, we've seen it all, done it all. This is an extension, right? So that probably is also, it's a continuation of your education, isn't it? It's not standalone. Fair enough. But a big congratulations again for making it till here. Because just to, understand, hardly about 11% of students who enroll into education in the country, according to the recent report that was published in 2023, Aisha report, only about 11% students enroll and into postgraduate programs. And, you would be among, that minuscule percentage. So it is fortunate to enroll into post-graduation program, and given the fact that you are part of Mahe makes it all the more special and all the more meaningful. So welcome again to Mahe family, which Mahe as an institution of eminence, definitely there is a lot of learning, lot of opportunities that you would explore, and it is a matter of pride that you belong to an institution of eminence, which has, which has multiple departments, hundreds of departments with thousands of students, hundreds and thousands of faculty across the departments. So you can imagine that your part of Mahe is something that is a matter of pride. Mahe, just to brief you, some of you might have attended a few of our initial webinars that we conducted, just to give you an orientation on the department, on Mahe specifically. These are, a few points that I would like to start with before we begin with academic regulations. So we are also ranked at 6th position by NIRF. Mahe is also ranked at A++ by NAC, National Assessment and Accreditation Council. In terms of international rankings, QS rankings also, somewhere Mahe has made it to the top rankings. And almost all the rankings across the world and across the country by different ranking agencies have ranked Mahe at the top league. In terms of accreditations and certifications, Mahe has all the required certifications. Statutory mandatory certifications and some, certificates like ISO, which are all testimony for the quality. And this is not, my friends, something that is built in a year or two, but this is something that Mahe has, ingrained over a period of time, something that Mahe has, is a testimony of how Mahe has kind of, Mahe stands for quality education. Introducing you to the Department of Liberal Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, I'm happy to share that this is the second batch for DLHS, second batch of master's students. And Mahe's values, just to reiterate, we believe in integrity, transparency, quality, teamwork, execution with passion, and humane touch. So these are the values on which DLHS is also built. And we wish, we hope, and we strive to ensure our students somewhere imbibe these qualities during their academic journey at Mahe, right? As a department, our vision is to foster discovery, diffusion, and application of knowledge and prepare students to be critical, innovative, and dynamic thinkers and engaged global citizens. And how do we do that? We wish to achieve that through a learner-centered approach, building on strong base for academic excellence and professional skills in the domain of liberal arts, humanities, and social sciences. The objectives of DLHS are, we believe in academics and ethics, upholding and maintaining highest standards of academics and ethics. We believe in striving towards research and creative endeavors. Resilience, sensitivity, and creative thinking is at the crux and the core of DLHS. We also ensure we create and foster an inclusive learning environment. The fact that we have diverse student groups with different learning abilities at different levels is a testimony that we do acknowledge an inclusive learning environment. And also, we stand for our transdisciplinary approach. For those of you who already have gone through our website, who are aware of the programs that we offer almost different programs in almost 7 disciplines, including history, economics, political science, sociology, psychology, media, and English, of course. So you can imagine the kind of diverse approach you might be exposed to over a period of time. It could be during your dissertation times, during your project work. There could be transdisciplinary approach. You might be working on project which requires you to explore psychology or behavior patterns, television viewing pattern, or media habits in users, or you are trying to analyze text through using through a psychological approach, or it could be sociological approach. So somewhere you cannot do either multimedia communication or English or language literature in isolation. They all intersect at different points. So to ensure you get that exposure, you can always have close interactions with faculty at DLHS, who I'll be introducing very shortly. We have faculty from all these disciplines, and you are free to interact, whether they are handling a full-fledged course for you for a certain semester or not, doesn't matter. You're free to approach any of the faculty, and you can engage in conversations, discussions, learning activities with them. I've already briefed about the department. We have students from different parts of the country, and just to move on with the programs that we offer at bachelor's level, we offer single major programs in journalism, English, and psychology, and double majors in history, sociology, political science, and economics. Postgraduate programs, of course, you're part of multimedia and communication and English language and literature. From 24 onwards, we launch another program, MSc in Applied Psychology. So in the third year, if you look at the growth that the department has had, from a department of almost about 57 students last year when we started, 57, including UG and PG batch, we are now a department of over 200 students for this academic year. So it's a big leap for us. So that's a testimony, and that is also, I must thank all the parents for trusting us, and I must thank all the students for somewhere making an informed decision, informed choice to enroll into Mahe. In terms of the highlights of the program, because we do believe in dynamic pedagogy to cater to evolving global realities, we have, of course, highly qualified faculty from different domain expertise from different parts of the country, different universities. We also ensure there is hybrid learning. I know, you might have found it strange to say, come on, when everything is offline, why online? Why are we looking at hybrid? We must acknowledge the fact that digital learning, virtual learning is a reality. As much as we would be doing a lot of in-face interactions, we would also facilitate interactions from faculty, resource persons across the globe, and what best way to connect other than virtual mode. So, of course, hybrid learning is a reality. And obviously, placement and internship support. I must acknowledge that our current batch of master's students have completed their internship in organizations like Times of India, PTI, and English students have interned in a few schools in different parts of the country. I mean, this is the kind of exposure that you look forward to getting at an institution. And of course, we believe in student-centric approach, industry and institutional collaborations. Mahe has almost collaborations with almost 250 universities across the world, with different universities. So there are opportunities for students to enroll to do a semester abroad in third semester, ideally. And of course, there are certain specific criteria. We would be sharing all of that in some time. After you start your program, looking at your interest and understanding where you want to progress and how you want to proceed. If the eligibility criteria is fulfilled, you would be given opportunities. We already have received communication from Aarhus University for accepting our students for a semester abroad. So we are looking forward to having more collaboration specifically for DLHs, and you would definitely be given an opportunity for the same. Fieldwork and projects are part of these activities. Some of the industry exposure, somewhere, when you were pursuing your undergraduate program, I'm sure for, most of you who had not decided on whether you want to do masters or not, you still had an option. You want to go for placements. I'm sure if your teachers had asked you whether you want to start working, you would say, let me decide, maybe I will see, I'll take some time. I want to explore and then think. Because somewhere there is an anchor. You have post-graduation also. If you don't get a good job, there are students who decide to enroll into post-graduation because probably for them to progress into education, or because of lack of opportunities after undergraduation degree. But with post-graduation, you definitely want to start working, right? You are looking at getting into the industry. You want to explore, unless, of course, you are looking at pursuing your PhD, which we would definitely encourage, and we would love to see you enroll into doctoral programs. But also, we know for the fact that you would want to be industry ready. And how do we facilitate that? Through industry interface. It could be guest lectures, it could be industry visits, workshops, internships. These are some of the ways in which we connect you with the industry. Now, when we bring a resource person to you from the industry, don't look at it as a guest lecture or just somebody coming and talking and probably sharing insights. Not really. We are bringing you contacts. We are bringing you connects, direct connects. You could, it could be an opportunity for you to maybe seek internship, to be placed in organizations. There are a lot of instances where students probably might have asked the right questions to the right persons and they land into a wonderful job, and which will not just be a job where they are making a wonderful career out of it, right? So please make sure you pay close attention and don't look at guest lectures as just guest lectures, it's just a session and leave it at that, but then see how you can develop a contact, establish rapport with the person. So that is one opportunity, one aspect that we definitely take seriously. Some of the activities, just to place it on record, at DLHs in the last 1 year, we have invited over 26 to 30 speakers from different walks of life, coming and interacting with our students through guest lectures, workshops, conducting workshops, and various activities. We did series of events. This is just to share what we have so far done in the last 1 year. It could be the seminar series that we did, Thinking the City, seminar series. It could be visits to, literature fests across students, MA English students were part of Kochi Biennale. They were part of Bangalore Literature Fest. And of course, a lot of other literary events. We also had experts coming and conducting workshops specifically. It could be content writing, it could be, poetry sessions. So these are some of the activities that we've done so far. And one of the biggest events that we hosted on Mahe Bengaluru campus under the leadership of Dlhs was MILAP, Manipal International Literature and Arts Platform. This MILAP is a tradition of Mahe. After 3 editions of MILAP at Manipal campus, Dlhs hosted MILAP on Bangalore campus. And we had almost 50 different resource persons over a period of 3 days. Artists, poets, filmmakers, film critics, performers. We have people interacting, coming, sharing their thoughts and exchanging ideas. It was a brilliant opportunity. And I'm proud to say that our master students, Aheri from MA English Language and Literature and Shafi from MA Multimedia and Communication were the student conveners of MILAP 2022-23. As I told, we had master classes, book exhibitions, just to give you a glimpse of what was in store. We hosted a performance, a theatre performance, a play, Harold Pinter's Caretaker, which again was put together by alumni of Mahe, Manipal. So these were some of the, activities that were part of MILAP, and I'm sure you will also be part of MILAP in the coming years. We also hosted book and film releases. All these are, vibrant. You can see the diverse activities that we have so far conducted. And this is just sharing a few glimpses of the, experiential learning that our master's English students were part of. As part of their course, English language teaching, they engage with government schools where they actually do a 30-hour intensive English teaching activity. They learn how to be a teacher, part of the course. So this is experiential learning, and their internship is an extension of this. So this is how we prepare. Our multimedia students went on an entire visit to around Bangalore using all forms of public transport, right from auto to autos, metros, local train and bus, and explored the city, different parts of the city, and came back with a newsletter. So that is the exposure we are talking about. So moving on, that was some of the highlights of 22-23, just so that you get a glimpse of what we've done so far and what more we could do, and I'm sure we'll do a lot more. So in terms of student well-being, we have a student support center, professional counseling. Anybody has any, you want to seek help, please remember, do not hesitate to seek help. You can, avail counselor support. We have 2 counselors on campus. You can reach out to them at any time with due appointments. We do have clubs and committees which are mostly for undergraduate students, but I'm introducing them to you just so you know that we have, platforms. Because trust me, post-graduation is definitely academically intensive. You might not even have time to engage in activities, in club activities. But if any of you is interested, if you think you can balance your academics plus some of the club activities, feel free to engage yourself in the same. Moving on to academic regulations. An academic term is almost for a 16-week period, and of course we impart instructions in English. This is the credit structure of both the programs. 80 credits for 4 semesters. Semester 1, 20 credits. Semester 2, 18. Semester 3, 24 credits. Semester 4, 18 credits. Now, semester 3, 24 credits, because the internship that you do at the end of second semester is carried forward, accrued in the third semester transcript. So that is how the credits are for the 2 years master's program. Just to share you highlights of MA English Language and Literature, what you would be exposed to. Broadly, you will be exposed to research, industry, skill, oriented courses, language and literature courses. If you were to look at research courses, you will be doing courses which will groom you, prepare you for a journey into research. It could be courses like literary theories, it could be research methods, it could be academic writing, dissertation. They're all courses for somebody who wants to pursue, say, a PhD. You want to do doctoral studies, then definitely this gives a solid grounding for you. Even if you are not keen on doing a PhD, but you still want to get into industry research, it is still a solid set of courses that you do, which will prepare you. Because research is integral. Research doesn't mean only doing academic research. You could be doing industry research. Even if you have to write a novel, you want to write a poem, I'm sure you would be doing research if you want to be a columnist. So research is integral. It's a given thing that you have to somewhere get your research skills right. So there is definitely a fairly heavy impetus on research skills. Industry skills, of course, we understand this is one of our USPs at DLHS. I'm sure some of you who have enrolled in these programs know that you have enrolled because we offer programs like, courses like editing and publishing, content writing, instructional design, which not many universities offer. Literature goes beyond only literature. You also have, we offer very clearly 2 tracks in the second year. So you either do a literature track or you could do praxis, industry-oriented track. So these are the courses that will help you groom there, get there. It could be also for the internship and capstone project as another activity. For this year, for editing and publishing course, we have collaborated with Manipal Universal Press, it's a publishing house, and the course will be entirely delivered by the publishing house and the team, and our students also will be visiting the press and doing another solid 20 hours of learning on site. So that is what we believe as experiential learning. Language, of course, courses like linguistics, ELT, English for specific purposes are some of the courses which focus on language. Literature, again, you have quite a few. Most of our courses specific to literature follow thematic approach. Thematic approach, it could be in terms of gender, sexuality, film, science fiction, literature of the margins. So these are some of the courses that we cover in literature. MA Multimedia and Communication, again, research and industry skills remain the same. However, as specializations, we offer 3 important tracks: multimedia, journalism and communication, marketing communication, and audiovisual communication. First year, you would have introductory courses, which would cover almost all of the fundamentals of communication. And second year, when you have to do your specialization, is when you can choose a specific track and do courses related to that track. And that's how the courses go. And we also prepare, when just to give you a little more about research, we just not only focus on academic research here, we do courses related to media economics, media business, say consumer behavior. These are courses which will align you, which will help you get into the applied research track. In terms of grading and assessment, broadly the assessment is 50% of internal assessment and 50% of end-term assessment, summative assessment. But for some courses, production-related courses, now editing and publishing, you do not have end-term exam per se, but the assessments could be in terms of term paper. For research courses, you would be submitting synopses or papers that would be part of the assessment. And when I say continuous assessment, every class of yours will be important for your assessment. It could be your interaction, it could be how you contribute, your presentations, whatever is expected of you for that course becomes part of the assessment. So I suggest all of you take the assessment seriously. Don't wait for the end term exam. Don't say, this I did not do this assignment well, let me wait for the end term exams. Do not wait for that. And trust me, master students, you would have lot of opportunities. When opportunities knock at the door, mostly the request is for postgraduate students, projects, if there are opportunities related to projects. We, as of now, currently we are approached by BBMP for a specific project. For building a campaign, and they have requested for students from our department, and definitely opportunity will be given to postgraduate students. And your participation throughout, your contribution, the seriousness with which you take up academics will add up to opportunities that will be given to you. So please take all this seriously. And in terms of continuous internal assessment, you would have midterm exams, assignments, field work, case study. All of this would be part of your assessment. Attendance, 75% attendance is mandatory. I'm sure you've heard enough of this at UG level. But trust me when I say 75%, this is just a bare minimum attendance that is required. But if you were to ask us, the required attendance for postgraduate program would be 100%, right? At least 95%, do not compromise, because it is important that you are part of it. You must have seen, it's a smaller cohort. Our intake itself is limited to 25 to 30, not more than that. We do not want to fill the classroom with, 50, 60 students and dilute the learning. So it's a smaller cohort. So we want to ensure that discussions and transactions, academic transactions, are individualized and meaningful, personalized. And to make that happen, it is important that all of you are there and engage in team activities, teamwork, and team presentations. Attendance is again also a criteria for leadership roles, for department, university, representative positions, awards, and recognition. Just to give you a brief, Mr. Canute will also be sharing about examination regulation. Just to touch upon that, the minimum grade requirement in each course is 5 point. We follow a 10-point grading system, and that is E grade is required for you to progress into second semester. And if you have to be promoted to second year, you need to have a minimum of 20 credits. So this is how the progression looks like. A student who has attendance less than 75%, if she or he is detained, then they get a DT grade and they have to re-register for the course the next year, next academic year. If a student is absent for the exam, they get an F grade, that is fail, but they have an opportunity to sit for makeup exam, where the maximum grade in makeup exam is capped at C. Meaning, for example, if you're absent for the exam, if you fail to submit your dissertation, whatever, you are given an F grade, and you will be given an opportunity to do the same in makeup exam. But even if you give your 100% there, you're confident of getting A grade, you will still be getting only C grade. So that's what it means. If you're absent due to medical emergency, only with a prior approval, I'm not saying you should get into medical emergency after taking approval, but as long as you're keeping us informed, you've taken due approvals, you will be getting an I grade, meaning incomplete. There you write your makeup exam and you're eligible for actual grades. Then the less, anybody who gets less than E or 5 point is considered F grade. Again here, you can write makeup exams, but the grades are again capped at C. Some of the important campus guidelines, which I'm sure all of you are very responsible as postgraduate students, but just to reiterate some of them. Mobile phones, I know you would be using, but don't get drowned into mobile phones. You need to understand, use it as an aid and don't, restrain from over dependence. So judicious use, I leave what judicious use means to your judgment. Ragging is absolutely not tolerated. We have a zero ragging policy on campus. Substance abuse, again, possession, consumption, distribution of drugs is prohibited, and you will be subject to disciplinary measures if anybody is found guilty. I'm not, going very detailed with these slides because, as I told, I trust post-graduation students to be more responsible and more, alert. These disciplinary procedures, of course. Generally, I mean, if you are found to flout any of these guidelines, immediate suspension, pending inquiry, and of course your parents will have to meet. I know some of your parents stay in different parts of the country, and it might not be easy for you to travel if you have to be appearing in front of the HOD. But the only way out is to keep yourself out of trouble. That's all. Of course, you have disciplinary action accordingly. There are a lot of grievance redressal mechanisms on campus. It could be anti-ragging monitoring committee, it could be student grievance cell, it could be internal complaints committee or students affairs committee. You can approach these committees. You will have detailed orientation as you move on. You will be discovering more in the coming days. This, I'm sure, would be more of interest for you. Academic calendar. We start with classes from tomorrow, and the last day for this semester would be 23rd November, and your exams will commence from 27th November. So this is to introduce you to Team Dlhs. You've met me, you've met Dr. Girish. Dr. Sunayan, due to personal emergency, he's not here today. He's the media programs coordinator. We have Dr. Anupama. Dr. Anupama is here. We have associate professor, coordinator, MA and BA programs. Her area of expertise is American literature, African American literature, and Afghan literature. We have Dr. Arunima is here, psychology faculty. We have Dr. Swati. I think you will meet them outside during tea break. Dr. Swati will also be curating a few courses for you related to contemporary history, development studies, media and communication studies. Dr. Arjuna is here. Okay. Dr. Arjuna handles computational linguistics, Sanskrit. We have Ms. Varsha, faculty psychology. We have Dr. Pradeep. Dr. Pradeep is here. I think they're all, you can meet all of them for tea. Dr. Pradeep's area of expertise, he'll also be handling courses for first semester master students. Broadcast and electronic communication, media affects public opinion. These are his areas of expertise. Dr. Rahul, professor sociology. He's also the coordinator of examination and evaluation. Ms. Sumati, assistant professor English, coordinator of all the club activities, and Ms. Sumati also handles gender and sexuality studies. Dr. Anushri, assistant professor economics. Dr. Amandeep, assistant professor psychology. We have Dr. Radhika is here. Dr. Radhika, assistant professor media and communication. Her area of expertise is television, advertising, public relations, radio and new media. We have Ms. Aishwarya, assistant professor English, contemporary British drama, theatre, philosophy. Dr. Divya, you've met Dr. Divya, assistant professor English, translation studies, film studies, gender and sexuality. Dr. Neeraja, assistant professor English, performance studies, theatre, cultural studies. Dr. Pranav, assistant professor media and communication, filmmaking, broadcast production. Dr. Krishanu Bhargav, assistant professor political science. I've introduced all of them so you know we have faculty from different domain, different expertise. Of course, Ms. Shrivani is our admin executive. Is Vani here? No, okay. So any admin related queries, you can meet Ms. Shrivani. You will be meeting them, in the next few days. For this semester, we have about 4 visiting faculty who would be part of the team department. Mr. Raghuveer Badrinath, a senior journalist, will handle media courses. Ms. Sadhana, content writing course. Mr. Peter, some of them handle courses for senior classes, but for you, Mr. Badrinath handles one of the courses. We have a host of adjunct faculty, all of them drawn from different domain of the industry, different walks of life. You have photographers, you have filmmakers, writers, editors. So they would all be invited at different points in time to engage with you through different sessions. So that is Team DLHS for you. Thank you so much, and see you all tomorrow at 9 o'clock, but in the morning. And we continue with the next session. May I invite Dr. Bandi to start the session. For any doubts, we can catch up over a cup of coffee after the sessions. We'll meet, and you're most welcome to reach out to me. Thank you.
Hello. Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you for the DLHS team for inviting us to introduce library facilities. You heard our chief guest and our HOD and how important is that learning from outside classroom, because you all PG students and you need a lot of resources, and the library is going to be integral part of your course. And next 2 years, please make good use of the resource. We have plenty of resources. Being a multidisciplinary campus, you have all the advantage of using multifaceted content, and library is facilitating all of you. So I am Dr. Ishappa here. I am taking care of all the Mahe libraries, and your DLHS library is on 5th floor, and we have law books there, and DLHS, DOC, and DPP books. So all these are interrelated. So kindly make use of that. And we have 2 more libraries in the campus. One is MIT, that is engineering content, and it is on 1st floor. And one more library for management, that is called TAPMI, that is management related library. And one more library will come for SMI, that is Srishti Manipal Institute. All these are open to all of you. Please make use of all these resources, and we will look forward your collaboration. So as I told, this library is a treasure house, and we are building it, and every day we are adding the content, both print and digital. And it is for the community, Mahean. You all Mahehans now. So you will be as a community, because there are a lot of interdisciplinary courses in the campus. You can collaborate, because being in the department, we may not be getting the opportunity to collaborate. Library is a central facility where it is very easy for you to collaborate, take projects, you can interact, you can make interdisciplinary activities. And we are hosting a very high quality content, a lot of peer reviewed content. May I know, anybody knows about what is peer reviewed? Because you all PG students, how many of you have used your library during your undergraduates? Have you used? Yeah, great. So fair enough. So Thank you for that. And see, now in a PG, you will be needing a lot of support from the library. And I request you, you got this opportunity, kindly make good use of that. So this is our mission statement, library mission statement, where we want to make this library as a heart of the campus. And it will help you in academic and research activity to foster the culture of literature, and it will envisage the, fulfilling the role, unique role of a significant contributor to university communities, academic, culture, and social development. So how we will achieve this? We will achieve it by fostering and inculcating reading habits and acquiring good quality resources, both digital, print, and disseminating all the information whatever we have acquired, and we will help you in the intellectual growth, and we will be utilizing a lot of ICT tools to reach you all. So this is the place to learn and chance to grow. So library will act and connect you with the resources and your need. So this is the print content as well as e-content. It is, as I told, it is daily growing because we are getting a lot of content adding to our library, different libraries. There are now 7 libraries, different collections. So all these are in terms of print, in terms of digital resources. We have very good collection of e-books, that is more than 1,25,000, and we are subscribing to very high quality journals, e-journals in the form of databases. And this is the library timings, all different libraries, and first floor library is like a central library. There are extended hours like up to 8 p.m. every day. And it is open on Sundays, holidays. Please make use of that. During exams, we'll again extend the library timings up to 9:30. So because how many of you are staying in this one, hostels? Okay. Most of you are day scholars. So don't worry, because last bus from the campus is 8:45. So even if you want to stay back in the campus and study, please make use of this, and that's the reason it is extended hours are there for the library. And this is entitlement for PG student. You can take these many books. So we will be increasing number of books once we build the collection. So there is a late fee. Don't delay. Don't keep the books with yourself without reading, so that others will be they will be using that. So to avoid that, we have some nominal fees. So these are the different technology in the library. All libraries are fully automated. We are using Koha software. It is an open source software. There is a Turnitin plagiarism software in the campus, where all your thesis reports you will be submitting for the evaluation will go through this software. Your faculty will analyze from where all you have copied. So don't cut and paste when you are writing your assignments. So that is called Turnitin. And we have a Grammarly software which will help you to improve your writing language. And we have Open Athens software which will help you to access all the digital e-books, e-journals from anywhere. So once you get your email ID and all that, we will integrate that, and you will be given the credentials to access all the resources. And there is a Coursera available. Coursera will help you to take additional courses. So how to register and all that, when you visit the library portal, there are instructions for that. So these are some of the facilities, like we have an online catalog. You can search the books from any of the library, circulation of books, reading rooms are there, group discussion rooms are there. Whenever we have a projects, please take these rooms as a group discussions for webinars and all that. So you can have group activities in the library. And we have a digital library space, Wi-Fi connected in the library. And we, as I told, library is open on Sundays and holidays also. So this is how we are organizing library, library books in the library. So the whole universe of knowledge divided into 10 main categories, and then we divide them so that all the similar books will be in one place. So other than print, textbooks and reference books, we have magazines, newspapers. Being a journalism students, mass media students, so kindly spend some time reading newspapers. We are subscribing to a good number of newspapers. So this will help you and update you, and being you can be on current affairs and all that. So we have that both English, Kannada newspapers. So there is a photocopy printing facility in the library, and on first floor, it's of course it's outsourced one. So you can, being nominal charges, you can take. Don't take entire book printout, Xerox and all that. So because it's a violation of copyright. So I request all of you to at least only 10% of books can be photocopied. So this is library catalog, where being anywhere you can, if you use this URL, you can search the books, what books we have in the library, how many copies are there, whether you can take that book, all these information you will get on your fingertips. So this is how, for example, I search psychology, just example, then this is how list will come, and if you click any of the book which you want, the number of copies and availability, all that, it is instant. So this is a library portal, that is libportal.manipal.edu, where all the campus, Mahe campus libraries we can access here. If you select Bangalore campus, you will see our own libraries in the campus. Now, as of now, it is 6, and we will be adding one more, DPP. So when you click DLHS, this page will open. Here, first option is library resources, where e-books, e-journals, there are list of e-journals will come. So once you click that, these are the resources you can access, like Science Direct, Scopus. Anybody know Science Direct? What is this Science Direct? So Science Direct is a world's biggest publishing, is a publisher of both print and digital in the form of e-books, e-journals. What is the e-journal? Anybody knows e-journal? So e-journal is a one where your faculty, scientists make a research on any topic, and they publish that in the form of articles. So these articles are peer reviewed by the experts, and they select those articles, whether it is accepted for the print publishing or not. So this is all happens behind the screen, and those content is available in this databases as articles and all that. So you can access them. So these articles will help you to know what is happening in your area of interest. Currently, what is going on in the in your field, you will come to know that once you read the latest articles. So this is Open Athens, a remote access platform. If you go to this URL, what I mentioned here, you will get the list of all the resources what we subscribe. See, we are spending crores of rupees to subscribe this. This is very costly content, and only this one, what we get return on investment is in terms of your usage. So we request all of you to make good use of this, and that is helping you in excelling in your academic and research activities. And being a PG students, you will be more responsible towards using these resources. And if any support or help needed, we are there to help you. So this is one more very important resource that is called Scopus. Anybody knows? I mean, I'm just asking you because this is one of the important, please make use of this. Scopus is a indexing database where it indexes the whatever published content which is qualitatively acceptable. So if anything which is published and indexed in the Scopus means it is highly qualified. I mean, content is acceptable, and it is a peer-reviewed content. So whatever you publish, for example, if you are going for a publication, kindly look that whether that journal is indexed in Scopus or not. Otherwise, it is if it is not indexed in Scopus or Web of Science, one more platform, Web of Science. So be sure that whether that journal is indexed in this platform or not. So this is how it looks. So one more, that is Taylor and Francis, very important for journalism, and because a lot of content is available. So all books are available. You can download them and you can keep with you whenever you get a time, you can read that. So this is JSTOR, very important again, and ProQuest, like that. So many databases are there. So this service, that is a daily news service, we have initiated for faculty members. So this semester onwards, we will be doing it for weekly to the students. So how it, what is this mechanism? We identify the important news from the newspapers, and we provide the links, and through email you will all get the links, and whichever the news is interest to you, you can click that and read that news. So today, this is today's news. These are the news we have circulated to all the faculty members. For example, whenever you are traveling from your home to campus, without, wasting time, you can just, these are all mobile friendly. Just click that and read the today's news. There are 10 newspapers covered in that. So this is today's newspaper, just for examples. These are some small regulations, like maintaining silence in the library is important. Always carry Mahe ID card. To issue return books, these Mahe ID card will be the library card. We don't issue additional cards as a library cards to any students. And yeah, if you happens to lose any of the books which you issue from the library, there is a facility of you can replace that with a new copy, or you can pay that the cost. So this is our upcoming building, that is Central Library of Mahe, Bangalore, which will be functional in the next 6-7 months. So all these, whatever libraries I discussed, all these library will be part of this building, and it will be accessible to all of you. So these are some of the events we organized last year. As Madam already mentioned about Milap book exhibition, we did that for 3 days. A lot of publishers who came with the latest books and displayed in our campus, and a lot of, some students were also purchased and recommended books to the library to purchase. So these are some of the database trainings we organized for the users. And one more, book talks we organized. This year also we are planning a lot of events. I request all of you to make active participation. And one more, last year we had a book exhibition. So this is an upcoming event we are planning, that is design a bookmark which can speak. So this is a Mahe across all the courses students will be participating. So with this code, the only thing that you absolutely have to know is the location of the library. So this is, Einstein has told this. So I welcome you all again for this wonderful campus. And this is our team, library team, where it's a small team. It's again growing, and we'll be adding more people. And these are all there to help you. So take our support, and we welcome you all for this wonderful campus. Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. So just after finishing your all admissions, and madam has already done half of my job, so I'll just go a couple of points. Parents and both students should know this. Before going this, myself, my name is Canute Rodriguez, Deputy Registrar Evaluation for this campus. We will be discussing now about the 8 points. Out of that, 1 or 2 points Madam has already directly covered. First is assessment and grading, credits and promotion, grading, SGPA, CGPA, how it is calculated, admit cards, how it will be and what are the instructions, and evaluation process and how is the result, then re-evaluation, then what are these 3 grades like A, B, DT, I, Madam has said already, and makeup examinations. These are the key areas where you should know. And our grading assessment, as Madam has already told, it is a continuous, we would like to a continuous evaluation. So we earlier had 30:70, that is 30 marks as internal assessment and 70 marks as end-sem examinations, what you used to give. But university want to reach at a level that with the continuous evaluation, it is 70 as an internal assessment and 30 will be the end-sem assessment. Current practice is 50-50, that is 50 is internal and 50 is end-sem examinations. So Madam has clearly told. But what are the passing criteria? So passing criteria is the minimum marks required to pass. Whether it is required to internal assessment? No. Internal assessment, yes, you can get 0 also, not an issue. But for the end-sem exam to pass, it should be minimum 35%, aggregate it is 40%. Got it? So to get good score, you need internal assessment, but completely failing will not help you a lot. So that is what, and minimum attendance, as Madam said, minimum attendance it is 75%. These are your semesters, semester 1, 2, 3, 4 semester, and there are subjects. You have 5 subjects for first and second semester, and then third and fourth semester you have 6 and 4 subjects. And credits are accordingly, the 20 credits, 18 credits, 24 credits and 18 credits. So minimum is credits to be scored to go to first semester, to first year to second year, not semester, first year to second year, it is 20 credits is required. If you fail in getting these 20 credits, you have to loss of 1 year. So this is, if your marks card is like this, how is SGPA calculated? Semester grade average point. So this is how it is calculated. We have grading, and each grade is graded with 10 points. That is A plus is 10, A is 9 and B is 8, like this similarly. F is equal to less than 5, so it is failed. So if you have now these gradings, this is an example given for your first semester you can take. This is an example. If you score A plus B, A, B, A, and the credits are accordingly 4 credits each paper. So we will calculate this grade point earned, that is your credit points or grade point, that is A plus has 10 grades, 10 into 4 will be the grade point earned, grade points earned, that is, okay. And the total of grade points earned divided by total credits will be your semester average. So that is your SGPA. Clear here, this calculation? If you are having any doubts, you can raise. Going forward, these are our grade points, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 0. And these are the A plus, A, B, C, D, E, F. F means failed, 0 credit you will be earning. So similarly, we can calculate for semester 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can score SGPA is 7.5, 7.13, 7.27, 6.84. The grade points are calculated again, that is the average, that is it is multiplied by the total credits and sum is divided by the sum of the credits of all the semesters. Hope this is clear. CGPA, SGPA calculation you should know, because later on you will have other subjects or making other courses which are to be calculated for CGPA is only considered here. There are open electives, some not for yours. There are open electives for others, that is extracurricular, which will be not considered for CGPA. That also you should know. But I don't think you will be having that, right? So our exam system, evaluation system goes like this. Internal assessment and end sem examinations. Internal assessment is completely done by your departments. That is, in your DLHS departments by HODs, staff and others. But end SEM examination comes under us, which we will be conducting a paperless exam. I will tell you how it is. Then internal assessment, anyway madam has already told, quizzes, mid-SEM assignments, which will be considered and total for 50 marks. And end SEM exam on the whole will be for 50%, that is 50 marks again. Then we will calculate the SGPA, CGPA and the grades are announced. And other than these grades, absent, I and DT are the grades which you will not be seen under our grading points. But absent is absent, madam has told that if you are absent, you have to re-reg and get in the immediate exam, that is your makeup exam, but capping is C. For I grade, with a prior permission, before the exam you should have the permission and that should be communicated to us. Then we will give it as I grade. And I grade candidate can also sit for the makeup exams, but he is graded for the full grade. For example, absent and DT is detained, he has to repeat the course. Because less than 75 attendance means he is detained. That is, he has not completed his coursework, so he has to complete it once again. So absent, you will have C grade capping and I will be having with the full grade. If absent and I grade candidate scores 100 out of 100, absent will not be graded as A+. It will be graded as C. C is the maximum. And for I grade, it will be A+ for the same exam. Clear? So, then comes our exam will be completely paperless. End SEM exams totally paperless and mid-SEM exam 1 will be in the paperless exam. So, it will be going on e-pads. These are the e-pads. A training will be given to you how to write. You can draw, calculate everything with this. The training will be given and you will have a practice session also to practice this. So completely paperless. There is no point in writing and all. So during the examinations, you will be given with the admit card. This admit card is a record for you that you have appeared for the exam and you are okay to sit for the exams. So there will be batches, subjects, and behind the admit card there are instructions. Please read these instructions carefully. Later you don't have to panic because we are going with the paperless and paper and penless exam. Don't have to take anything except admit card and a ID card. That is enough. You don't have to take pen, especially mobile phone, because usually people forget to take mobile phone, but they will keep it in the pockets. So this is not allowed. Keeping unknowingly mobile during the exam hall, in the exam hall, within your bench or desk or anywhere is an offense. And that is strictly communicated, and we also have guidelines to be displayed on the notice board and all. What is the corpus punishments will be going. They may lose entire semester also. So that is the corpus, the maximum. So later don't be panic that I had it without my knowledge and these things will happen. So those are the malpractice and guidelines. So this is about the admit card, the exam pattern and this malpractice regulations. This will be displayed clearly. You better know it so that both parents and the students, because later parents will come that no, my child is very honest, he will never take this, by mistake he had taken. By mistake is also no excuse. So that is very strictly followed. Then coming our revaluation process. Revaluation process, after the result, if the student is not happy with the marks given, that he or she thinks that the marks should be still more, they can apply for revaluation. Once they apply for revaluation, they can see their papers. We will allow them to see their papers. If now after seeing this paper, if they feel that whatever the lecturer is given is correct, they can withdraw. Why I am telling this? They can withdraw or they can go ahead with the second evaluation. Why I am telling is withdrawal is once they go to second evaluation scores are final, whether it is upper grade or lower grade, passed or failed. That will be the final, and you can't go to the reverse the scores. But if he goes back and tell that I am opting out from the revaluation, whatever given is correct, they feel that, then that earlier grade will be taken care of. So this is very crucial, I am telling you, because after that your grade may increase or even decrease. That risk is always there. And post that there is no again revaluation. So, and there is no grade upgradation, like I am passed, I want to take more, that is not possible. If you are passed, means passed, that's it. Then coming up with the makeup exam, immediately after 15 to 20 days, we will have the exams. After the result is shown, after the makeup revaluation, everything is 15 to 20 days, we will have one more exam, so that those who are failed, they can sit for the exams and clear this. But the maximum is C capping. So this is about this revaluation and makeup and C, everything is there. So if there are any questions, you can ask. So failing is okay for me, but don't indulge in. I have written in my hand yesterday night, today it is still available. I tried to rub, it is not going. This happened. No, unknowingly that happens. And sometimes people go in the library, they write on the calculator, because library there is no paper, so they have written on the calculator. And the calculator has come to exam center. So, no excuse. So be careful while coming to the exams. If it is caught, gone case. So that's what I want to convey. If any questions? Nothing. Okay, all are anxious to have the tea, I hope. There is one more small session. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Just an announcement. I'm sure you're getting impatient, as sir has mentioned that the tea is available. You can go there after the last two sessions. We have now Miles Orientation. Manipal Center. Miles is Manipal Center for Innovation, Leadership and Entrepreneurship. It offers a unique approach to entrepreneurship journey through experiential learning. So I request Mr. Akshay to come forward to talk about it.
Good evening, all of you. Good evening, all of you. My name is Ashwath. Though it's been mentioned in the program, Dr. Raghu. Raghu is my boss. He is a director, Miles. He couldn't be here today, so I would conduct on his behalf. I've been already warned by Shilpa that try and make it as brief as possible. Energy levels are low. People want to go for tea. So I'll take about 10 minutes time to cover my sessions. We are looking at startups. Miles encourages more employers budding out of Miles, of Mahe. So that's our entire endeavor. So before we, let's talk about global scenario of startups. No doubt US takes the cake, about 75,000 startups per annum. India is the second, about 15K. Rest is third, fourth, we need not read. IT remains the dominant sector where you have more number of startups coming up. The second goes to health tech, which is Mahe's strong forte. So we have health tech, med tech, because our access to hospitals and KMC, and we have Manipal Hospital. So we are very strong on health tech, med tech, biotech. So that's something that we encourage a lot. In this slide, I would like to pause and talk about ed tech. Sorry, very sad state of affair, Baiju. Kya kar diya yaar? Now let's talk about Indian scenario. The 10 major colleges produce about 5,000 startups. Out of 15,000 startups per annum, out of that 5,000 comes from IIT, IIM, BITS Pilani. Those are mentioned there. Bombay and Delhi takes the cake. Maximum number of startups from there. Sanjay and Bini. Any idea which startup are you talking about? Flipkart from IIT Delhi. Dipinder Goyal. I think I'll give it away, paucity of time. So I could populate the entire sheet with quizzing you, but that's not the idea. You have other startups also coming from the other colleges. But the message I'm trying to drive here is most of the startups, they churn out from the college dormitories. So that's the trend that we have seen. So here, Miles, we want to bring Mahe to the forefront. Why only these 10 colleges? We want to have, when this data was presented to Dr. Ranjan Pai, who is the CEO or the chief of MEMG group. So he was very saddened to note that why I am as old as IIT Mumbai or Kolkata or Chennai, but I produce less startups. So that's why we wanted to give a more focus and generate more startups from Mahe. Before we started this entrepreneur education, we did some studies across the models that is being in these colleges. We did a lot of internal consulting with people who will help us draft a model that should be applicable for Mahe. ये किसका phone है? Whose phone is also? It's flashing here. So we did a lot of reading also, and we came up with some of the learnings that we have got. The appetite to take risk is more when you are a student. After you pass out and go for a job, 5 years down the line, salary is going on getting credited to your bank account. Kaun risk lega? Why should I start entrepreneurship now? Hatao yaar. The fatigue sets in. You really don't want to venture into something risky. And the desire to become an entrepreneur is when you are in the college. The other points, maybe I'll just skip. So we started up this school which is dedicated only to encourage startups. It's a dedicated school. We are doing nothing else. We are not teaching regular courses. They are all left to able people like Shilpa and the other HODs, HOIs. We do only entrepreneurship, mentor people. When they have a business idea, we pick them up and help them mushroom. Of course, we need to have a right ecosystem if you are looking at entrepreneurship. So we have tie up with a lot of BCs. And one distinction we have here is we have all the industry stalwarts who have been from the industry. We pick them up and they come and teach they are our faculties. So we have about 20 odd faculties who are from the industry teaching various subjects. So in the entrepreneurship journey, I'll just take you through very quickly, briefly, what we propose to do in this entrepreneurship journey or as a student. So we have 5 levels. First level, we talk about how do you become an entrepreneur, what are the qualities. Will you succeed? Will you fail? Are entrepreneurs born or are they made? All these things are there with Google. It is there in the internet. So what we do is we call entrepreneurs who have been there, who have done that, who have touched the live wire, who have actually experienced entrepreneurship, and they come and share their journey with you. So we believe if you have a 10 interaction with various entrepreneurs from different walks of life, different fields, then you can yourself decide, can you become an entrepreneur? Is that there in you? Having done that, any entrepreneur, you need to have basic knowledge of accounting, legal, all those things. So we'll talk a bit more in the upcoming slide. Once you have done level 1 and level 2, then we do a dipstick check. Do you still want to become an entrepreneur? Banna hai? Then he says yes. Then we tell him, kya banega? You need to choose a pathway. In which field do you want to prosper? In which field do you want to venture out? So we have identified some 7 or 8 fields which are current hot trends. So we mentor you in those fields. The red ones there, as I told you, it's very close to our chest and heart. It's all there in our blood and veins as far as Mahe is concerned, with medtech, edtech and health tech. Once you have chosen your pathway, then when you start an entrepreneurship journey, where do you look for funds? First person who will fund you is who? Who will be the first bakra who will fund you? Your father, your brother, some relative. So that's called as bootstrapping. You take money from known sources. Then after that, thanks to Modi ji, startup, so much of funds is available, so much of grants is available, so you can, bank on that for some days. But with these two kind of funds, it's only a little bit of journey. There's only this much that you can do. Somewhere down the line, you need to come to the big bad world of VCs, who will help you flourish. They have unlimited money, deep pockets. So the fourth level is where the VCs come and interact with you and tell you their expectation from you when you are going with a begging ball to them that I want funds. So they come and tell you that, boss, kya mangta hai? What is it that I expect from you? And they also demystify the VC jargons. They have a typical language of their own. So after having gone through, if we expose 200 students, let's say, to these 5 levels, we believe at least 10% of them will have a plan which they would want to become an entrepreneur. We handhold them, we incubate them, help them with go-to-market strategy and stuff like that. So these are some of the interactions that we have had in the last semester with entrepreneurs. The right down there, you can see Hari Menon. You have a lawyer who came and talked about legal tech, that he wanted to start up. He has a startup on that. So there's the first one on the left-hand side is a guy who is doing what's that flying thing? Sorry? Drone. So he came, unfortunately this is a non-flying zone, he really couldn't, the drone was kept here and all the engineering students were wanting to see that fly, but it didn't happen. So we bring people from various facets. Innovation is also innovation breeds entrepreneurship, right? So that's the beginning of your entrepreneurship. So these are the 3 areas where we are concentrating. She's giving me those stares. I'll try to quicken the pace. So we were talking about, we offer these courses, bouquet of courses. Level 1, entrepreneurship talks. Level 2 are these 4 set of courses, which is accounting, any product or service that you are offering. You have done that, yeah, mastered that, but bechoge kaise? How do you know to sell? So picking up these selling skills is something that we have taught about. And also, when you start up as a founder, if there are 3 founders, you are the peon till the CEO. You are the peon till the managing director. So from that stage, from 3 to 300, how do you grow? Based on the vision that you are selling to your employees, because you don't have money. So how do you grow as an HR from 3 to 300? So a lot of things that you need to learn once you become an entrepreneur. Though I know science and this is my product, nahi chalega. You need to know compliance, you need to know IPR, lot of things. Then we talk about some innovation courses around insurance, fintech, medtech. I told you about that earlier also. So all of them are 36 hours module. We need 3 credits. So we have designed it that way. And very convenient, we conduct these classes only on Saturdays, which is hybrid mode, could be online and offline, combination of both. We have registration process, end semester evaluation, all that, blah, blah, blah. Very strong industry connects, which is already displayed there. 5G is a very hot course that we are trying to launch in this current semester. So I think I'll put a full stop here. As I told you earlier, Raghu is the person who heads this department. My name is Ashwath. I am a chartered accountant with about 25 years of post-qualification. I quit industry because after a certain stage in life, when you look up all your bosses, you don't like what you look. So I quit that and came over here. For the past 8 years, I've been sharing my gray hair with students. So that's, if you have any queries, doubts, I don't think I'll have time to take questions over here, but you can always reach us. Shilpa can perhaps guide you to us. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shilpa, for giving us the opportunity.
Moving on to the last session, which is DDGS, Deputy Director, General Service. I request Mr. Basuraj to come and speak about it.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks to the wonderful speakers who have taken you through a journey on the academics. And my name is Basavaraj. I am the Deputy Director for General Administration. I'll just take you through the overview of the facility of the campus so that you get to know the information and whatever support you want, that will be extended from the Department of General Administration. We have, just to bring to your notice that our services, includes security, transportation, food and beverages, laundry, housekeeping and horticulture, medical services and medical center in the university building. Security services, our campus is safely secured and any student or faculty, staff who are part of the university are monitored effectively, and we have a dedicated command center also in the university campus. We have close to 300 odd closed circuit televisions across the university building, and the security is also manned 24/7. So it's just that we are giving the comfort to the student and the faculty that you are safe in the campus. So for each of this vertical which I'm going to speak about has got an escalation matrix also, and these are the people who will be to be contacted as and when you require any help or support. So I am also there in that escalation matrix. At any point of time, if you find that the team is not, supporting you, you can directly give me a call or you can write an email to me and I'll respond to that. Transport services, very important for the university. Currently, we have various students, traveling from all over the city of Bangalore, and we have introduced 5 route buses, to the campus, and we have shared the link also in the website. Please go through that, and if you have any discomfort or any assistance support required, please do contact us. It has got the complete manual which has been shared in the website, including the slab rates from whichever destination you want to travel to the university campus. Food and beverage is another important vertical in the university building. We have 2 deadly, service providers in the campus, and you can taste the food at whatever level you want. We have a centralized food court which can, take up around 2,000 odd students as of now. And as a food court, as a facility, we should be getting the service by end of October. So there has not been delay because of the government change and other things. These are all political things. But however, keeping that aside, we have made the comfort for the students to relish their food in a central food courtyard, which is near the food court. Please feel to walk to that place and you can have your food over there. So for this, we have also the mess operations. When we say food, to have food, the flashcards are given by the service providers. So any of you who would like to register for that, please do that, and please approach the service providers. They will try and issue the food card, and you can make use of it, whether it is morning, afternoon, evening snacks, dinner also. So this is basically for the in-house hostel students. I think majority of you are not staying in the hostel. So these are services as a laundry for the in-house hostel students who are staying with us. And apart from the university hostels, we also have taken a couple of hostels outside the university building. That is due to shortage of our beds in the hostel. So this service is extended both internally and externally. And people living in the hostels, the service is provided. So this is one of the best of the laundries which we have created in the campus. It has got around 15 washing machines, then dryers you have multiple calendar machines, all that is available for the benefit of the students. Medical center, we have a 4-bedded medical center in the university building. All right, this runs around the clock. We have a doctor in the morning till evening, and then equally supported by the nursing fraternity, who are there 24/7, including a Sunday public holiday. And we do have advanced cardiac life support ambulance, which transports students or faculty who are in distress to the nearest hospital. We are partnered with Manipal Hospital, Hebbal. That's the closest one. We are almost around 8 kilometers from this place. So initial first aid is given in the medical center, which is in the hostel block premises. If the doctor feels that the patient has to be shifted, our ambulance is available to transport the patient to the hospital, and then the evaluation and other consultation will happen at the hospital. If outpatient, they treat and send. Otherwise, admission. If admission is required, the students are given the Mediclaim policy cards. That has got an insurance. We are tied up with Manipal Cigna, and the insurance levels can be attained through that medical card. This is the campus picturization. And if any of you feel that, if any questions are there, please do ask. I'll be glad to assist on that. If no questions, my office is in the ground floor. Yeah, at any point of time, please feel free to contact my office. My team members are also there. We will try and support as much as possible. We'll try and make your, yeah, you have one question? Yes. I can't hear. Yeah. Buses are operating, yes. Already started. It's actually started from 31st of July. The other course students have started their classes. So we have the route buses available. If the route which you are going to travel, you please let us know, then we can make arrangements for that. Also, please get onto the website. It has got the full manual of the transportation and every information is provided in that. You still feel confused, please walk into my office. We'll try and share that information. All right, so we are available, and please do take our support, and let's make your journey in the university campus memorable one. And from the Department of Administration, we'll try our best to support you at any point of time. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining us for the PG MA orientation, DLHs. Please note that tea is served outside at the canteen space. Thank you.